Okie dokie, hi, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. It is late. It is 1:42 a.m., Sunday, February 9th, 2025. I have completely fucked my sleep schedule, so I'm awake. And I would like to pass some time playing Little Islanders. I've been up editing some articles, finally had a productive day today for the first time in what feels like a month, maybe longer. I've been doing Spanish practice most days this week, slipped up on Tuesday, but every other day has been good. I have been writing, I have been getting chores done, I've been cooking, I've even been working out. It is, God, agonizing to slowly put a schedule back together and slowly start piecing things together. I had an interview this week. I don't think it's going anywhere. It went fine, but I don't think I'm hearing back from them. It does feel like spring is right around the corner. We're almost there. I say that, but Seattle actually got its first snow this winter season. Yesterday, downtown Seattle, I mean, not yesterday, day before, a couple of days ago, I don't know, this week. Went out, I took pictures, I walked around in the snow, almost fell over, losing my balance. It's been good. It's been good. Being out and walking around the snow as well as getting back to working out, it's really made me recognize how my heart and lungs are not what they used to be. I had something, I don't know what, something this winter that really took it out of me. Not COVID, I didn't have a fever. I was just having labored breathing for, I don't know, not a month, but a few weeks, way back in early winter. And it has been kicking my ass, getting back up to speed. Don't know what it was. I have accidentally let this lavender chamomile tea steep for 2 days. This is pretty good. Pretty good. I've been sleeping like absolute ass. I have not been sleeping well at all lately. I have had the hardest time getting to sleep. I've been so easy to wake up. Had the hardest time getting back to sleep. As of like Wednesday or Thursday this week, I'd gotten like 8 hours sleep total in the last 3 nights. Today was really nice. Today I managed to just let myself sleep all fucking day. And I felt bad for not being more productive, but holy shit, I needed it. Have they changed the UI? Some of these UI features look a little, not much different, but a little different. I haven't played this in so long. 14's pretty good. That's where it is. Okay. I'm like, normally there's a statue somewhere on the island. I wasn't seeing it. I'm like, weird, but that's fine. Won't stop us from doing well. So we can get a 15. I'll take that. I'm doing okay. I, like a lot of people, had a hard January, and things are fucking terrifying right now, politically in the United States, especially for someone who's queer, and non-binary. Yeah, it's a little frightening. But I live in a pretty privileged position living where I do. Washington State has some pretty damn good lawyers and a lot of pride. not a lot of respect for federal authorities trying to exert control here. So we're hanging in there, fighting a good fight. Online has just been fucking insufferable. Like, Reddit has been awful. Blue Sky has been okay, but just like so damn depressing. I've had so many conversations with people who were kind of checked out and are freaking out, or people who have been kind of paying attention and are freaking out, and people who've been really paying attention and freaking out. I've just been going full-on doomer, like, we're fucked. This is X, Y, or Z is gonna cause a collapse. And look, I don't need to berate you with these talking points and with this whole song and dance. You've heard it, I'm sure. You've had these conversations, I'm sure. Or, if you haven't, you're not American. And to which I congratulate you. These problems, these scares, I should say, aren't uniquely American in any respect. They're things that most other countries have had to deal with in their history that we have dodged successfully, weirdly, successfully for, about a century now. I know the United States has been around for longer than a century, but the last century, we've been pretty even-keeled, pretty moderate, for better or for worse. And, well, that can't last forever. Party can't go on forever. I have personally been... surviving. January was rough. January was really rough. And the beginning of this month was, hasn't been much better, but I'm getting used to it, I guess. I talked about this previously, but I had written letters for Christmas and New Year's like I like to, but I didn't have time to send them out on time, so I just recorded videos for folks instead. I heard back from a good deal of family, but not my dad and not his mom, and that was troubling me for quite a while. It felt very pointed. I didn't even get told that he had received them. Well, it turns out that he did receive them, and he decided to censor the version that he gave his mom, which is just kind of heartbreaking. His rationale is that she's not well, and she's old, and isn't getting better, and that, just not the right time. And I'm not gonna fucking fight him on it. It's heartbreaking, though. Oh no, your kid's queer and radical and wants to share who they are authentically with their grandparent before their grandparent passes away? Nah, fuck that. That's uncomfy. I'm just gonna censor what my kid says, and that's uncomfortable for me, and I'd rather not. I bet you if I wasn't wearing a fucking dress in the video, it would have been different. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing behavior. But again, I'm not gonna fight him on it. He's losing his mom slowly right now. She's not doing super well and probably not going to recover. And I can't make it to that part of the country, and I would really, really like, to be able to send my regards without having a censor, but tough shit, Alex. tough shit. Meanwhile, my mom was incredibly excited about the one that I sent her. She loved it. She listened to the one that I sent her parents, and she loved it. Was really excited and thought it was super cool. I was really glad that I shared with her parents what I was working on, my projects, and the people in my life. It shouldn't be surprising when people continue acting in a manner similar to how they've acted for years. It shouldn't be surprising when an unhealthy dynamic continues to be unhealthy. And it feels ridiculous that it can still hurt and still sting when it feels like you should have seen it coming. You should have known. You should have braced yourself or prepared or anticipated it. But you can't let cynicism stop you from trying. You can't let fear and doubt and anxiety and the potential or even probable failure or loss or hurt stop you from trying, stop you from living. There's nothing substantially worthwhile to be gained from hiding ourselves from one another, from trying to convey only convenient realities to each other in order to avoid discomfort, avoid drama, avoid dispute. There's conflict in every relationship. And whether that conflict takes on a form that's healthy or unhealthy is ultimately up to us. Our willingness to engage with one another on difficult subjects, our ability to trust one another, our ability to cooperate, to hold space for and with one another. And, honestly, maybe it's stupid to continually step up and try and be vulnerable and have that vulnerability met with rejection. Soft rejection, polite rejection, candid rejection, but rejection. Now, if failure were a reason not to try, none of us would walk. None of us would talk. None of us would sing. None of us would make art. None of us would have agriculture. None of us would be alive. Failure is not a moral illness. It's a human condition. And I would rather know that I made an effort, and I reached out, and I was honest, and I was authentic, and I tried despite a lifetime of precedent to be who I am and offer a place in my life, in my heart, in my world, and not have to carry it with me for the rest of my life wondering if there were more I could have done or said. No, I can just know that I tried. And I'm gonna be sad about it. Because, that sucks. That sucks having family, especially a father, someone who's supposed to love you and support you and protect you, build you up, and encourage you and be your advocate in a world that won't always advocate for you, censor you and shut you down for his own comfort. I get it. I do. I absolutely get it. He is scared. And he's hurt. He's about to lose family. I mean, his mother. He's been there in person, watching her decline and failure to recover. And I'm sure it hasn't been easy. I'm sure it's been hard. I'm sure it's been scary. And I'm sure what he's trying to do and trying to consider right now is how to mitigate that pain and that loss. How to make her as comfortable and happy as possible as he can in the time that he has left. I get it. I think he's wrong. I think he's so wrong in choosing what he's chosen and doing what he's doing. But I'm not gonna fight him on it. Oh, I could probably hop on a fucking plane and fly out there, make a whole dramatic affair of it. Not that I can really afford to, but I probably have family who'd make that happen for me. No, I'm not doing that. I don't need his validation or her validation. I never have. I just felt like it was the right thing to do, was to try. Oh well. I tried. I've honestly been a little, and this is so embarrassing. I've been a little dysregulated this month because I've had someone special to me kind of drop off the map, and you know, it's not diagnosed, but I think I might have like rejection sensitivity because I so quickly jumped to, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Was I too X, Y, or Z? Did I do this? Did I do that? And no, I don't think so. Nothing different, nothing special. And I assume they're okay. Because I have good reason to believe that they're okay, or at least alive, just incommunicado. And this isn't the first time this has happened with this person or with my friends. This happens with folks, and I get it, you know, we're adults. Life is hard and scary, and we live in such a fucking dystopian world where scary shit keeps happening all the time, and monsters in power keep taking away basic human rights. I get shutting down and pushing the world away, especially when we have other hurts, other pains, other fears that are weighing on us. So I imagine that's what's happening. And I'm not taking it personally. But it does make me sad, and I do miss them, and I wish I had some sort of sense for how long it was gonna last. If it's forever, if it's for another day, another hour, another week, another month. I'm not always the most communicative with friends. With close friends, I am insistently communicative, actively communicative. I keep people close, very close. And if we're not very close, then, well, less so. I'm no stranger to accidentally or intentionally ghosting people in my DMs. I certainly don't want to be like, I would never, blah, 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 blah. I would, and I have, and I get it. But 3 weeks is a long time. And I felt so fucking ridiculous for being upset over it. Because, like, I'm not entitled to their time or their space or their energy. There's no obligation or agreement. There's nothing being violated. It's just fear and anxiety and worry. Worry for them, worry for their well-being, worry that it's a reflection of me or their feelings toward me. And, you know, if communication's a one-way street, worry's all I really have. You can't get positive or negative feedback. You can't get confirmation or denial. You can just only kind of wonder, oh God, am I gonna make it to the next island? I feel, maybe. This would really suck if I weren't able to pull this off. Shouldn't be that difficult. I have a friend here, a very good friend, who I like to hang out with like every week that I haven't hung out with in a couple weeks now. And I run a weekly D&D campaign that I think I'm gonna start running. I'm having such a hard time being creative and getting into a creative headspace with everything going on politically. It's just exhausting and depressing and scary, and I can't run a cute fantasy or cool or dark fantasy. I can't run a fantasy setting right now. I can't manage NPCs and voices and politics and plots and maps, and I can't, like, combat and shit. It's too much to run. It's too much to run when I am having trouble getting out of bed every day. When I'm having trouble getting to sleep every day. And what's fucked up is I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. I'm not in a depressive cycle. I'm not. Having a hard time because of a chemical imbalance. I'm having a hard time because of a political condition. Like, I've been spending a lot of time, like, quiet time, reflecting, trying to feel out my feelings, going like, okay, am I just depressed right now? Is it this going on? Is it that going on? Maybe I could check this, maybe I could check that. Like, my meds are still working. Yeah, dog, like, everything checks out. You're just, like, rationally sad and scared. Oh. Oh, fuck. Not a lot to do about that. Not a lot to do, except, try to accept it. Try to accept it. So I can't put hot fields here, but I kind of want to put them here. This is such a weird setup. I should probably get a city center started somewhere and start building up from there. It's fucked how I'm actually talking about the game while playing Islanders. This has just been such a weird island setup. I kind of want to put the hops fields here, but they'll get rid of the flowers. But the flowers aren't going to give me much because I already have a shaman that was covering that area. I think gardens or something also use that. You don't get any bonus for being over here, so you could just fuck it. I feel like putting you on the platforms is wrong, but well, it's too fucking late. I've gone and done it. Hut? Sure. Yeah, I had an interview this week that went fine, but I'm not hopeful about it. I'm finding it really hard to muster up hope for interviews these days. I've had so many in the last almost couple of years now that have gone really well, and they liked me and responded well to my energy and my experience, and talked me up, and were really excited and positive and looking forward to blah 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 blah. And nothing ever came of it. And then nothing ever came of it. Nothing ever came of it. Time and time again. And I don't know. I don't mean to be negative. Be like, oh, it's hopeless. Oh, I give up. Woe is me. I don't think it's a me problem. I think it's a systemic problem, by which I mean I know it to be a systemic problem, as I've seen other people definitely sharing in this experience, people who are well-educated, people who are articulate, people who are incredibly talented. Someone I went to college with, they are fucking brilliant. Jen is their name. Jen is fucking brilliant and creative and charismatic and such an asset. Such an asset. Way better suited than I ever was. And I obvious crush on them in college. They were very inspiring. They have on TikTok and I think on Instagram. I'm not on either of those apps anymore, as well as elsewhere. Can't remember where else. Posting about and narrating their experience and their difficulty with the job market, not just this year, but lately. And talking about, their qualifications and experience, which is extensive. And it's so damning to know someone that fucking great who's having a hard time. Some of the best and brightest people I know are truly having a hell of a time making ends meet, even finding work right now. Don't worry, it's just gonna get worse. Sorry. Me being negative, me being pessimistic, never. I met up with another friend, I guess, from college. We were friends with benefits. I'm not gonna name drop them for their for her privacy's sake, but I got a chance to meet up with her. That was very nice. And we were talking about job market and work, and she's been struggling too, which is ridiculous. She's so sweet and nice and like eager and I don't know, she's way better at a like customer facing role than I am. And hearing her talk about her difficulty was infuriating, though she started something this week, and I think it's going okay. And hey, okay's better than bad. My very good friend who I helped find a job at Card Kingdom, I can say it. Continues to really love his job and be fucking thriving there. So, you know, we take those. We take those W's where we can. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just just mostly doom and gloom. I've been catching up with my mom on phone calls and texting. She's out of the country and has been for a couple of months now. She will be for, I think, a couple of months yet, talking about everything going on. And it's very comforting to know that she's not in the US right now. That she is in a country where she feels at home, feels safe, where she gets out and is excited to engage with the community. And one that gives her hope. It isn't perfect, but God, it's so nice to see. My mother lives in the United States in a much more conservative part of the country than I do. And I wish so much that she and her partner would leave leave that part of the country. He has a lot of good reason for staying. Family, finances, property, I get it. But also, fuck Indiana. Oh my god, this is such a welcome sight after that last map. Big, flat, boring-ass island. Oh my god, yes, I'm gonna fucking come. Jesus Christ. You'll love to see it. Okay, we want to keep this clear, except for a gold extractor, and a city, and some buildings. I forget what buildings go with the gold extractor and jewelry store, but we want to keep this clear. Maybe some hops over here, over here. Not a lot going on here, huh? No, not really. I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. I'm fucking fly with it. I love it. She's a brick. Do I want brick industry? I don't really have anything that gives bonuses to this. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I've really just been hanging in there. Been trying to talk to people and connect with people and respond, but like I've been getting burnt out so easily. Someone who I dated for a brief while has I've been talking with again, and they've been really sweet and patient, but I feel really bad for how I just like kind of shut down. I'm like, it takes me a day to respond to things. They've been very patient and sweet and understanding, which is really fucking nice. Really nice to not feel like I'm inconveniencing or upsetting anyone by being on the struggle bus a little bit. They invited me out to a protest tomorrow. I'm probably not going. I just with how it's taking me to recover from whatever the fuck respiratory thing I had early in the winter, I don't want to be in a situation where I may potentially need to I don't want to get tear gas again, is the thing. Not when I had trouble breathing a few months ago. That feels dumb. I don't plan on getting tear gas, but I also know better than to trust the Seattle Police Department than be reasonable. They are not. They are a bunch of abusive, unresponsive fucks who don't live in the city and have nothing but disdain for the population that they're supposed to serve. Which did not make them particularly remarkable in terms of police forces, but they are pretty fucking bad. They're no LAPD, but they're pretty fucking bad. Well, if you let them scare you, they're already winning. Look, buddy, I have no problem putting myself at risk for other people. But when my identity is kind of the at-risk one under the fucking gun right now, I'm not going to go put myself in the front of a protest. During Black Lives Matter, yeah, my white ass was there in front of black bodies, between them and guns of white officers. You kidding? Of course it was. Feels like the bare fucking minimum. But when my trans ass is the one being legislated against by a perpetual midlife crisis having South African and a one step closer to the grave every day bigot. No, I'm going to try to not make my queer ass especially visible. I'm gonna take some calculated risks there. It'd be one thing if I felt like I was in a city or state even, where it felt like, oh, we gotta hold our representatives to account. No, our representatives are kind of okay here. Kind of okay. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're trying. They're trying. We're pushing back through legal apparatuses in as many ways as we can. And my representatives, at least, which is not to say all of the state representatives, my representatives have been pretty okay. Okay, this is negative. Houses are bad for jewelry. Mansions are good for jewelry. So mansions should go down here. Houses should go up here. Yeah. Yes, queen. Yes. What about a brewery? Do you like a brewery? Neither of you do? You don't care about a... Really? 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 I could have sworn that they did. Huh. I'm dumb. Yeah, apparently. Circus. Fountain, Wall Plateau, Statue, Shaman, City Center. Huh. Okay, well, fuck me. Sideways. I am wrong. This can grow up here, right? Okay, cool. I don't know. Maybe there's some rationale that I'm missing out on. During the Black Lives Matter protests, I mostly went to be there physically for members of my community. I wasn't going because I believed that we would successfully pressure local offices or state offices into action. It was purely a solidarity thing. And I want to make sure nobody gets hurt, and if I can stop even one person from getting hurt, and I did, stopped at least half a dozen people from getting hurt, then it was worthwhile. But right now, I don't know. My doomer ass is just... You know. Brickyard. Mason, warehouse, sandpit, statue. Huh. Mason, brickyard, statue, warehouse, tower, market, city center, plateau, temple, wall. Okay. And look, if your response is, listen to this honky, listen to this fucking gringo, this absolute privileged fuck, and how they are staying in, and you've already won if you're not doing anything. Brother, they don't need me to do or not do anything to have already won. That ship is fucking sailed. Am I complying in advance? Nope. I certainly am not. Just don't think this is a situation you demonstrate and vote your way out of.
How do you fix the situation, Alex?
Well, I can't talk about that. No comment. No comment. I have said before, and I'll say it again, I have never used this nor any online platform to advocate for violence. I never would. Ideally, idealistically, I'd like to believe that violence isn't ever the only option. However, that might be naive. It's an ideal more than reality, I think. Right now, I feel like a lot of the ways in which people can successfully resist and successfully organize is through organized labor. If private industries were shutting down because of organized labor, that would be very disruptive ideologically, financially, and politically to the movements that are happening with the new administration. If you can stop the trains from running, you have the power. You can stop planes from flying, you have the power. You can stop packages and goods from making it out of ports, you have the power. Which is to say, the workers always have the power if they're organized. So hey, if you work in a warehouse, if you work in logistics, if you work in any of like a myriad of industries, organize. I'm not saying general strike today. That's kind of unrealistic. There have been plenty of people being like, we need a general strike right now. Like, no, man, we needed a general strike years ago. What we need right now in order to make that even a vague possibility is actually unionize and educate and start creating what logistical and bureaucratic frameworks are necessary to sustain a long-term, by which I mean years, term strike, which means securing coalitions with folks working in power production, folks working in agriculture, folks working in distribution and medical care. It's in not just unionizing, but then unions forming coalitions with other unions to vote and act in Congress with one another, to form strike funds benefiting not just one union, but multiple unions. Sort of Soviets, if you will. And that starts with one workplace at a time. That starts with your coworkers. That starts with the people you see every day. starts with like, hey, we should make the policies here. We do the work. We know the business better than the managers do. We know our needs and conditions better than they do. We should have a seat at the bargaining table. Our pay should be equitable. Our compensation in terms of benefits should be equitable as well. This shouldn't just be livable. We should be thriving based off of the work that we do. Because, Lord knows, you're producing enough profit that somebody's thriving off the work you're doing. It should probably be you. You can't do everything all at once. Can't eat an elephant one bite. Gotta do one bite at a time. The bite you can do right now is small, and it won't change much. It won't. But if you do it, and your friends do it, and their friends do it, and their families do it, the, what is it, 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, it's kind of demonstrated, and I was watching a video on this past couple weeks. We are all within a few degrees of separation of each other. It's closer to like 5 or 6, 7 in some cases. You are like 7 people away from knowing anyone on the planet, which is fucking wild, with some outliers. That's where you start. You start with the people you know, and they go to the people they know, and the people they know. It's networking. It's democratizing. But if you're going into it like, all right, everybody rise up all at once. No, we've never practiced this. No, we've never so much as had a strike together. No, we've not so much as ever formed a picket line. You can't go 0 to 100. You can't. You try, and then you'll have Occupy Wall Street, and then you'll have Black Lives Matter, and then you'll have all of these other myriad spur-of-the-moment unsupported protests that have accomplished incredible things in terms of metrics in short-term participation, but in terms of long-term gains, utter failures, because their ability to sustain pressure, sustain momentum, floundered. I'm not trying to speak down to anyone. I'm not trying to come on here as, oh, the big communism understander, the big union understander. Ooh, this bitch thinks they know how organized labor works. And there are people who know much better than I do. But I recognize that there are people who know much less than I do, who have led more sheltered lives that haven't been exposed as much to these concepts and these realities and these considerations. I've advocated in the past that, join an organization, join any local organization. It's probably better than nothing, like Democratic Socialists of America, Socialist Alternative, etc., etc. With that said, God, the DSA is insufferable with the amount of liberals that are in it right now. Oh my God, just the amount of people who are like, okay, well, what are we doing, guys? Showing up to the party late and then being like, well, all right, let's have a revolution now. It's just like, oh my God, read a book, any book, read a single book on political theory. Please, please, please. It's been truly not even surprising, but disappointing seeing the K-Hive ass people out in response to Trump's comments on Gaza, being like, and you said that Trump would be better than Kamala. Leftists who didn't vote for Kamala but voted for Trump. Number one, those people don't exist. Number two, a vote for no one is not a vote for the opposition. It's not how that works. If you don't vote for A, you're not voting for B. That's not how that works. And we can talk about, well, you gotta be a grown-up and just take the lesser of two evils. No, you don't. You don't. It's contingent on the person running for office to set their platform to appeal to people, and if they don't, it's their failure. It's not the failure of people. Principles to throw those principles aside for harm reduction. Furthermore, it's asinine, absolutely asinine, to act like we wouldn't be in this exact same situation with the Kamala administration. 100% we would. She wouldn't have had some fucking psycho speech on the news about, like, we're gonna turn Gaza into the American Riviera, the new French Riviera, that we're gonna build condos and, all the other nonsense that Trump said. No, she wouldn't have said that. But what she would have done was continue to fund Israel's genocide, would maybe finger wag a little bit when it got too much publicity and go, baby, I told you not to do that, and then funding him anyway. Like, that was her fucking platform. It's just so aggravating how liberals, when faced with incredible opposition from the right, respond to that opposition from the right by punching left every fucking time. You know whose fault this is? Says the party that was in power who had the ability to stop this shit from happening. Those damn commies, those leftists, they're the reason we don't have nice things. Oh yeah, those people that you sabotage your conventions to keep out of positions of power. Those people, yeah, we're the fucking problem. Yeah, okay, man. Like, sure. Big look what you made me do energy. Like, it's abuser shit. And it's so tiring. And it's really sad seeing, like, baby leftists fall for it and be like, well, yeah, all those, I'm not gonna vote for her people really screwed the pooch. No, if you total up all of the third-party voters in any given state, two of them, I think, would have swapped. Two of those states would have gone to Kamala Harris, the rest would not. Those two would not have won her the election by any margin. And when I say all third-party votes, that would necessitate all libertarian votes as well in order to make that happen. Those libertarian votes were never going to vote for Kamala. So the whole notion, the whole argument is baseless, purely intentionally divisive, and serves to comfort liberals by eschewing the responsibility in light of casting that responsibility on somebody else, leftists, because it's never the liberals' fault. It's always the leftists for not showing up. It's never the liberals' fault for abandoning and betraying coalitions and stabbing leftists in the back. It's the leftists' fault for taking that personally and not showing back up and voting blue no matter who every single time. Alex, we get it. Your butt hurt. Not really, man. I'm not. I don't expect better from them. This is just what they do. But it does piss me off when they get indignant about it. And are so confused and upset why people aren't voting the way they want or agreeing with the things that they want when they're the ones driving away any coalition that they could have. Oh my God, I don't want to form a coalition with people who say that trans people should, quote, follow the law. When asked about protecting trans rights, no, fuck that bitch. Top cop Kamala, I hope she never holds political office again. It's a shame that she ever did in the first place. She was never a popular candidate. She fucking bombed when she was running for the presidency on her own. The only reason that she became vice president was because Joe Biden kept saying racist shit. Incredibly racist shit. And it was like a blatant appeal to African-American voters to be like, whoa, we're not racist. We're like actually kind of progressive and we're cool, and ignore that Joe Biden was pro-segregation. Seriously, the fucking gall of running a formerly pro-segregation candidate and being like, we're the good guys. Are you? Are you? I don't. Call me crazy. I don't think you are. I think perhaps you're not. I think maybe you suck, actually. Your failure to take accountability for the very active harm that you do and have done is, it's on your head. And now, queer bitches like me are on the front of the barrel. And then you motherfuckers have the audacity to be like, well, it's your fault, actually. It's your... Fuck you, tranny, it's your fault. Really? Really? Bitch, you did this! What do you mean it's my fault? Almost. 1 point away. 1 point away. I'm not gonna lie, having to pivot off of using TikTok all the time, I haven't had to. You know, the platform's still there. You could still be on it, Alex. They clearly made a hard right pivot. Their algorithm was not the same when it came back. The whole,
Thanks, President Trump, for helping us come back.
no. No. Nah. I am not hanging out in your bootlicker ass space, thank you. That was that sucked, because I had met a lot of cool, queer, brilliant people, passionate leftists, incredible artists, incredibly hot people, like thought-provoking folks. I had learned a lot about the world. I had been exposed to a lot of shows that I didn't really consider checking out. Like, so many neat little things. And the thirst traps, just incredible. Just incredible. Simply the best thirst traps. And, you know, I'm gonna miss it. Thirst traps being good, not like in the weird Instagram way where it's like super male gazy and like obligatorily heteronormative, but like really queer ways. Really like niche queer ways that was so cool. And kind of liberatory, actually. It sucks. Sucks to have lost that. Yeah, you know, not the end of the world by any means, but it's... Come on, dog. Can't have fucking nothing in this capitalist hell. Bitches just trying and failing to commodify everything. Everything. It was already a monetized platform. These Jurassic fucks. Be like,
China's stealing your data.
yeah, alright. China, that's okay. Cool. And? Somebody's stealing our data anyway, you motherfucker. It's gonna be someone. It might as well be China. So I'm okay. I started writing out a schedule for myself. I'm not gonna share it with potentially more regular streaming and some like more solid workflow and dates to check in with team members that I'm working with and people that I'm trying to wrangle. I'm trying to be like, okay, dust ourselves off. We crashed out there a little bit in January. Let's come back from it and put shit back together. So maybe we'll see that. Honestly, I'm still pretty sad. And I'm still pretty scared, and it feels like getting flashbanged every fucking day. So I'm not gonna set the expectation that we're gonna be back streaming crazy, zany, going hard. Nah, maybe, but probably not. Just a little bit here and there. I'd really like to get back and do the star naming streams more. I've been reworking that spreadsheet. This is an open secret. And I don't want to share what it currently looks like because that's a work in progress. So it's difficult to do the streams and do that, but I also really need to get around to doing that because the backlog is growing at this point. I haven't done that because I've been waiting on some feedback from someone who's busy before I move forward and make anything public. But I look like the form factor for what we'd like it to look like. Nailed down. I kind of wanted that nailed down like 2 weeks ago, so I can move forward and catch up on that, make that all bright and shiny. I'm working on a lot of writing projects that I can't share and I can't talk about and aren't even that interesting to watch me work on, but I'm working diligently. I'm catching up on work diligently this month. I'm almost hopeful. It's weird in light of everything. I'm almost hopeful right now. Just gonna keep rolling with the punches. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to, in small ways and in large ways, just try to make the world a little better. Be kind. Be earnest. Be authentic. And hope that it's enough. It might not be. And if it isn't, it isn't. I'm gonna try. So I think we're gonna wrap up here. I'm not gonna play until we lose. That with me tends to take like 2.5, 3 hours, and I tend to only like playing Islanders for an hour, so we can save here and then resume next time. I don't know if I'll actually do that or not. As far as what to keep an eye out for in terms of video game content, I have been eyeing playing through Disco Elysium again. I have not played through Disco Elysium since way back before the voice lines were at it, before it was voice acted. Long time ago. I may, because my hard part in streaming that before was it was reading so damn much. But I also have so much meta knowledge. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Another playthrough of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I'm thinking about it. Look, I know it's not that popular, especially with like the 4X people who follow me. Dog, I'm weird. I like it. If you don't, that's cool. But I do. Civilization 7 just came out, and I think I'm gonna stream that. The consensus has kind of been its UI is a mess, and it's interesting, but undercooked, which is typical of a new Civ. I've seen that Stellaris is getting a 3.0 update, which honestly good for them, but like I might come back around for 3.0 if it seems better, but it's just bloated so much at this point with so much zany crap. It's really started to hit Crusader Kings 2 level of zany with some of the shit that they've done, and I don't care for it. I was excited for Stellaris in a grounded science fiction game about exploration and discovery and diplomacy, and not modifier stacking and min-maxing and memes. And it's definitely shifted in that direction again. More Anbanars possible, but like, there are people who make better Anbanar content than me, and I'm not that good at U4. I really like it, but like, maybe I could do some Anbanar content. I don't know. Would anyone actually fucking like that? I don't know. Maybe. Let me know. Yeah, and there's a whole fuck ton of things I have bookmarked that I may or may not get around to. Like Spiritfarer. I thought it was fun enough, but like, something about it didn't click. Something about it didn't give me serotonin. Dopamine? Whichever. When I was playing it, like, oh, okay, I get the mechanics. But it wasn't getting me going. You know, it wasn't getting the juices flowing. It wasn't revving my engine. Alex, those are metaphors for something else. Yeah. It wasn't doing it for me. I started playing through Majora's Mask alongside the person I have been a little worried about. And I was really enjoying that, but then I hit save game corruption and I lost the fucking file. Majora's Mask is a comfort game for me from my childhood. I played a lot of it, and I am tempted to give that another go, but the save file corruption has really made me strongly consider if that's something I want to do again. We'll see. Until then, whenever then happens to be, I'm gonna say toodaloo. Take care. I will see you then. Bye-bye.